this music. Merriam-Webster defines the word inspire as to spur on or motivate, to exert an animating, enlivening, or exalting influence on, to draw forth, or to bring out. As we go through this journey together, we'll learn what people find various forms of inspiration in as we seek to find more things that inspire us.
My name is Sheila, and this is my story. I am a breast cancer overcomer, or as some might call it, a survivor. Yes, it happened to me, and when I look back on it now, I realize that every step of my journey was guided and it was ordered by God. From the day of my diagnosis in August of 2016 to this day, my God has been with me. Immediately after receiving the news of my stage 1 diagnosis, God started sending me messages. I'm bigger than this. No weapons formed against you shall prosper. As time got closer for me to have my surgery, I knew it was necessary for me to share it with those I was closest to. My approach was simply this. I was recently diagnosed with breast cancer, and I will be having surgery and radiation soon. I'm looking at this as another opportunity to trust God, so I will need for you to do the same. I need you to celebrate this journey with me. This is not a bad thing, and this is not a death sentence. This is all about trusting God and watching Him work. And that He did. I had a successful lumpectomy plus 25 rounds of daily radiation. Kevin LeVar's song, You Are My Hiding Place, became my radiation theme song. I played it in the car on the way to radiation and on the way home with each visit. I played it loud, I sang it loud, and I danced at every stoplight. I know my driving neighbors probably thought I was crazy, but that's okay. I had to get my armor on. My radiation treatments ended on December 19, 2016, resulting in absolutely no side effects. Through it all, my family, my husband and daughter, my brother and my sister-in-law, my sister circle from the old neighborhood, from church, and from the community, they were all right there for me every step of the way, praying for me, checking on me, cooking for me. As I said before, God has guided and ordered this journey from day one. He allowed an early diagnosis, a successful surgery, and treatment with no side effects. Grace and mercy each day was walking on each side of me. God has been mighty good. And if I can offer some words to whoever may be listening to this, I would say, keep your annual doctor's visits. Get your mammograms. Do your monthly breast exams. Get to know your body, so if something is off, you'll notice it. Take some time to be still and pay attention. Always stand in love, be obedient to the leading of the Holy Spirit, and in everything give thanks, for this is the will of Christ Jesus. My name is Sheila, and this is my story.
So what inspired me to become a nurse is I've always really been a helpful person and I like helping people. I tend to put other people before me from time to time. And I hear like a lot of people joke and say that nurses always put other people before them, which is, why we became nurses. But I had surgery when I was 16 and I ended up having to stay in the hospital for about 27 days. And the nurses who were taking care of me were so sweet and nice and caring, and they motivated me to, want to do better and get out of the hospital. And they just showed me that they actually cared about me as a person and not just another patient that they had. And it ignited something in me that wanted to make me be that nurse for someone else, like to want to be the nurse that a patient is going to always remember for just being nice to them or just talking to them or just getting to know them as a person. So I will say that the nurses that took care of me pretty much inspired me to become a nurse myself.
Hey, my name is Emmanuel Archie, and I'm inspired to see people doing better for themselves. I like to help people and push people, so that inspires me.
My experience with domestic violence was a time of helplessness. It was a time of brokenness, extremely stressful. And that's not just for myself, but at the time I had 2 children. There was a lot of physical abuse as well as verbal abuse. Things started out as a normal dating relationship would, trying to get to know each other, that type of thing. And there were small things that I noticed at first, such as he was very critical about the way that I dressed when I went to work. It went from that to being asked a lot of questions about my interaction with some of my male coworkers, to him going through my phone and calling anyone whose name sounded like it could have been a male. He would call them back and interrogate them on how they knew me and why did I have their number, when was the last time they talked to me, if I had told them that he and I were in a dating relationship, and it just kind of went on from there. So there were some friendships that were severed and ruined behind him doing that. Still, I stayed. I thought that I had something to prove to him. I thought I had to prove to him that I was a good person. I thought I had to prove to him that I wasn't like these other people that turned their backs on him. So our arguments would get progressively worse. It would start out as just a simple disagreement to he would insult me, insult my intelligence. And then things like really escalated to the point of him choking me, all because he didn't want to hear my voice. He didn't want to hear me disagree with him. He would get frustrated because I wasn't seeing his point of view. I can recall a particular time when we got into an argument. My children were home. They were actually in the bedroom across the hall from me. And I can't even remember what we were arguing about. But all I do recall is I remember him choking me, and I remember this like incredible amount of pressure that kind of traveled up like from my neck to my ears. And then I can remember feeling hot. I can remember my legs giving out, and next thing I know, I'm on the floor, and I'm thinking like he isn't letting go. And I just started thinking like my kids are gonna find me in my room on the floor. The next thing I know, I'm starting to come to, apparently I passed out, and he was still going on and on and on. I don't even know what he was saying. At this point, I didn't have control over my legs and my arms because they were jumping. One of my arms was jumping on its own, and then one of my legs was jumping on its own. And for some reason, I stayed, even after that. The incident that occurred in March 2011 is what really made me leave and say, this has gone way too far. We were arguing. He went to grab my keys, and he proceeded to run down the stairs to the parking lot to take my car, as he typically would when we got into an argument or whenever he felt like it. So that day I said, well, I'm not dealing with that anymore. So I asked my kids to stay in the house. I ran down the stairs behind him. The windows were down. He was already in the car with the car running. I come through the driver's side window, and I'm trying to take the keys, and then I noticed my kids were outside. My daughter came around to the passenger side and was mimicking what I was doing, which was trying to stop him from taking the car. So, of course, I backed out of the window to run around the front of the car to grab her, but he put the car in reverse and then proceeded to put the car in drive and punch the gas. The impact threw my daughter from the car. So it was in that moment of not knowing if she was seriously injured or what her condition was going to be when I was running over to her. My son was upset, crying outside. It was pure chaos. And so in that moment, I realized that I needed to make a different decision and to stick with it because my kids and I mattered.
The Man by Kamala P. Jones. A power from a source, surging forward on its designated course, following a dream, searching it seems, knowing the call comes for us all. Will you take hold or prepare to fold? The journey is long. You don't know the road. It's rough, you say, or so I've been told. But there was a man, oh so bold, so proud he was, and sometimes not, basing his plans on just one thought. But can you pass the test to surpass the rest? Only for certain if you are the best. There was a man I came to know. Get into his presence and there he would show you oh so much light and the ways of the world. But how they took turns lining up for the fight. Oh, you should have seen how they swung with such might. Year after year, the man stepped into the ring, willing and waiting so patiently for the next opponent to swing. They gave it their best. They gave it their all as they prepared for the mighty giant to fall. But never fear and never ever quit. It's what he would say when you felt like you were losing and wanted to give up. No, that's not the time. That's when you stand up, stay in the battle, and do what's right.
Hello, my name is Denise Backus, and I just want to share with you what inspires me to never want to give up. And as simple as it sounds, for me it is everything. It is God's faithfulness. He is so faithful to us even when we are not. And what makes me never want to give up is that when things look, when they don't look great, or when things happen in our life, as we all know, as we live, we can plan for things, but some things we can't plan for it, that they just happen. And some things are so devastating to us, we're just like, how can this happen? But when things happen like that in my life, when things have happened like that in my life, I always say that God knew that that was going to happen before I did. And so I have to have my moment, whatever type of moment that is, but just rely on the fact that He is faithful. And then that I can get to the other side, and the other side is always great. And so if I can just encourage you, is that God always has the perfect ending. And if you ever think about a book, there, especially a fairy tale, it says, once upon a time, and you know, so and so did this, they did that, and everything is so gracious and so lovely. And sometimes in that story, some things happen in between those pages that you didn't foresee. But towards the end, it says, and they lived happily ever after. So no matter what things look like, just remember that God has a happily ever after for you. So hold on to that. The story that He has for you ends with a happily ever after. So just please know that God is faithful. So just stay faithful to Him. Stay faithful to His word. I hope that this blessed you. I hope that this blessed someone. Bye.
Music is what inspires me.
You came to be cute, but I came to have church. You gotta jump in this week. What? Praise is finding some space and time. You know what it is. Somebody give Him glory. Come on, I said give Him glory.
the question is, what inspires me? To be perfectly honest, that was a difficult question for me. I thought of so many different things, but it was trying to narrow it down to what not only inspires me, but what drives me to be better and more. And I found through that introspection, it's people. People inspire me. I like helping people. I like knowing that in some small way I've made a difference in someone's life each and every day. As a matter of fact, that's one of my prayers. I pray on my way to work every day, and my prayer is that I am able to be a blessing to someone in some small way each and every day. So when I have the opportunity to do it, it pushes me to want to do it more. It's that look that you get from someone when they feel like someone sees them, like that moment that somebody cares about me and somebody is there, even if it's just me being silly, cracking a joke, or really praying for someone, or just listening. All of those things inspire me to want to do more, to want to help more and inspire others more. So I think that is what has become a passion for me. And not just like a simple passion, but a passion that has become a part of my spirit, and that it continuously allows me to grow and want to do more and do better. So at the end of the day, when the question is asked, what inspires me? You, people. That's what inspires me.
Hi, my name is Annette Phillip, and I'm an author/poet. And the poem I'm going to read to you tonight is called Colors of Variation. Colors of Variation. What does it matter that I am a tone darker than you? What does it mean to you that I am? Will you judge me wrongly, or look at me with eyes pierced with daggers? All I want from you is to be accepted, to be recognized as human, a creation by the Almighty, the one who created variety. He made us and only saw perfection. He loved the colors of all kinds of variation. Black, brown, red, and white. We are a whole nation. It really doesn't matter what we look like in His eyes. Be prepared for eternal glory, one that doesn't require color or worry. Our Maker is so finesse. I swear we are truly one of His best. Color can be so much beauty. Just appreciate it with all its glory. Love is the key to happiness. You can't be happy if you don't feel that victorious. Love your God with all your heart. He will put you on the path to fulfilling your destiny, one that doesn't require animosity. Be comfortable in your skin. Like they say, love the skin that you are in. It shouldn't matter what we look like, for our journey here is just a small flight.
Black is Beautiful, written by Delia and Lakeisha Tucker, edited by Sonia McTillman.
To those who say black isn't beautiful, it clearly was a lie. I wonder if that's why they wanted to deny us The simple things, like looking at the sky.
They kept us locked in the bottom of a ship, where we were chained and bound, standing or lying, hip to hip. They thought that we could be broken by ripping our families apart. They thought they were smart.
Following the letter of how to keep us at war, we started to keep our very own score. We have judged each other in more ways than one, looking at each other's wide nose, keen lips, and different hues of skin. That may really be where our problem began.
We've become inventors built on adversity's back. Being black, there was no room to slack. We've worked from sun up to sundown with no break. What was there to contemplate?
Our melanin can be quite unsettling, but you can't deny that our broken pieces have been crafted together like a mosaic butterfly.
One may ask, how can you be so happy after all you've been through? We thought what we did would have killed you.
Everything you ever told us was a lie, and nothing you said will ever apply to the joy that I feel down in my soul. We took those words and we used them as coal to make us the polished diamonds you see today.
We've been pressed down, but our prayers were raised up. I can see them rising like beautiful buttercups.
For those who still say our black isn't beautiful, it's simple. Our melanin is genuine.
We won't stop rising.
We won't stop shining.
We won't stop grinding.
We won't stop deciding to be
the kings and queens we were born to be.
Are you going through a difficult time? Are you struggling? Are you having a hard time with what's going on with this pandemic, with your job, your co-workers, family, and friends? Then this journal would be great for you. Learning to thrive through tough transitions. It's a 30-day inspirational journal where Lakeisha Tucker walks you through day 1 to day 30. Using Bible verses, she starts you off using questions, and she allows you to answer the questions using your own writing. This will be great for you or anyone else you know going through a tough time.